Facebook Live event from PHLV Radio.
Just like a friend from back home.
This is your Filipino radio experience in Las Vegas. PHLV Radio.
PHLV Radio.
Hey, good evening. Friday night as always. And it's 9:02 p.m. here in the Pacific or in California where I'm based at. Good evening to everybody. Magandang gabi sa inyong lahat if you're watching from this side of the world. Now, if you're watching us from the Philippines, good afternoon, magandang hapon, because I know it's 1:02 p.m. there on a Saturday, and I like what I always ask, and I always hope and pray that you had a wonderful lunch with your family and your loved ones. And if you're watching us from different parts of the world, depending on where you are and your time zone, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. And also happy viewing to our team replay, because I know a lot of you had said that a lot of you are part of our team replay. Because of the schedule, you are not able to watch us live, and that's okay as well. And so just to let you know, before we start on this wonderful show that we prepared for you, we are live on PHLB Radio Facebook page, as well as PHLB Radio YouTube channel. So please do subscribe so you won't miss any of our show. All you have to do is like, share, and subscribe. Also, if you are part of the Amazon Fire TV, all you have to do is look for PHLB channel. And if you're using Alexa, just say, Alexa, play PHLB Radio. Those people naman po who will be streaming through audio, we are live on different podcasts, namely Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And for Team Replay, as always, you can always find us on PHLB Radio YouTube channel, as well as PHLB webpage, which is www.phlbradio.com. Yeah, that being said and put aside, so today is a different show because I know you are so used about us doing some interview either with celebrities, with businesses, or introducing a product or product launches. Today it's one of those travel in, because you have mentioned, and some of you had texted me and PM me that you would like to know more about vacations or cruises that I've taken. And I said no problem, because it's gonna be a different slant on the show. So tonight, I know you guys are so curious, like a lot of you would like to go on a cruise, pero takot, because remember, you especially in our area in the US, we have heard during the pandemic that one of those cruise ships were stranded for like a month because of the pandemic. And of course, there's still fear of the virus being here and all that. That's already being taken care of. And what I'm going to do with the show is we're going to show you some picture first on the cruise ship that I took, as well as a live video, of we did during my trip, so at least you could compare. And then I'll make my recommendation at the same time, tips like what I always would have done in the past. Now, there are a lot of cruise liners or cruises that you could take. There's a Princess, there's a Norwegian, and so on and so forth, and then Carnival, and of course there's Royal Caribbean. Majority of these cruise lines, I already experienced them, or meaning I already had taken them one time or another I would say in the past 10 years. And some of them I had a good experience. Some of them are kind of old and I was not too keen about it. And I promised, after my two experiences with two different liners, I already said I'm not going to go with another cruise, simply because I was not really happy. The rooms were really, really small and the food was not that great. But that changed because a good friend of mine from San Francisco, and I already introduced her to you a couple of, I would say, last year's show, when I kind of cover my trip to Europe. Well, her name is Roxanne Guzman. Well, Roxanne Luantok Guzman, and she did a fantastic job for like 17 of us. She was able to put together, and she's not a travel agent by profession. It's just like his avocation, and she's just one of those ladies who really wants to do this, and they have the passion to put something together. So she introduced me to this wonderful cruise ship named Royal Caribbean. When she told me about this particular trip, I said, no, I'm done with cruises. I had two bad experiences with different liners. So I said, I'm going to avoid it. But she said, try this. This is a brand new ship that seas, and then they're already advertising it. There's going to be Utopia of the Seas. Okay, so it's going to be very interesting. The more the later year of the launch, the bigger the ship. So it's big and it's huge. And just to let you know how big, and I have the size. The Odyssey of the Seas is a quantum ultra class ship, and it comes at 347.1 meters long and 41.1 meters wide. Okay, so ang laki niya. And just to give you just an idea, when we sailed, there's passengers. There's total of 5,000 plus, including the cruise, including the people, the people running the liner. We didn't barely see each other. We barely cross each other because it's so huge, and the ship itself has so many things to offer, and we'll capture that in a minute. But a couple of tips. Tip number one: if you are planning to take any cruises I would say in the few, it's better because they're like right now, because I was checking what they have to offer or discounts rate. If you book like ahead of time, just like any other trips, like for airlines, even for them, they are giving 30% discount as well as 650 discounts, depending on the rooms where it's going to be, if it's interior, if it's with a view, if it's a balcony. And also, there's also a provision that kids, there's a certain age limit, of course, they could sail for free. So right now they're either running the 650 off or the 30% off. You just have to check regarding on your destination, regarding on the name of the liner that you're gonna be, or the ship that you're gonna be sailing with. So and if you ask me how much can it go? Well, it based on what my research, depending on the location, but it can go as low as $234 per person, and it could go as high as 1,800 per person. Like what I said, depending on your location, depending on the package, depending on the situation of where your room's going to be. Of course, if it's an interior, meaning it's inside, you have no view, you have no window, that would cost a lot less. That would be less expensive compared if you have a room with a view, especially if you have a room with plus a balcony, where especially for those people who will be traveling, that are very they're afraid of being cooped up in a room, claustrophobic. So also, those people who are gonna want to splurge a little, there's suites as well. It's like a big hotel. So let me show you first. Oh, so the tip number one: try to book as early as you can so you could avail yourself with some discounts. Okay, because the sooner you do that, because believe me, the sooner you book, the better. Because if you go closer to the sale day that you want, it becomes not only it's expensive, but you would not any option for choice of room. So you're going to be stuck depending on where you want to be located. So the best way is be prepared, book early as possible, and know where you want to be. And the good thing with all these websites, whether it's Royal Caribbean, whether it's Princess, whether it's Carnival, or whether it's Norwegian, they have an array of books, packages on where you want to go. If you want to go just Alaskan tour, Mediterranean, Bahamas, Europe, Asia, everything is there. You just have to take your sweet little time in checking where you want to travel. Like locally, they also have local, like, one thing that I need to mention. A lot of you have been asking, is it gonna be long, like 7 days, 14 days? No, they have a 3-day cruise, which a package for 3 days, or there's a 2-night cruise. There's an array, like what I said, there's an array of different packages that you will be so excited about. Okay, that being said, I will concentrate for this particular show on just Royal Caribbean, or Royal Caribbean Odyssey of the Seas, because that's the one that I was able to sail with. And we're showing the picture. That's how this is the front side. See how beautiful this thing is. Like what I said, it was just launched 2021. So it's really fairly new, and it's really huge. And we'll show you a couple more pictures. There's more pictures of the front and the side, and that's the overall look, that what you're seeing right now. Some of the pictures I took from their website, but the videos, Joe, just for let you know, those are all my personal videos that I took because I want to share my experience with you. Okay, and then let's show some of the see, this is the rooftop. A lot of you are asking me, would I get kids? I have teenage kids. I'm telling you, it's pretty guaranteed there is no dull moment whatsoever, because there's so many activities that you could do while you are on a cruise. Get to remember, you'll be sailing from one city to another. Like in our case, we flew into Rome in Italy, and then we sailed to Greece. So there's a 1-day cruise or you'll be at sea, but there's so many activities you won't even feel it. The ship itself is so huge that you could not see each other if you decide to. You could hide, and it's so huge. I will show you some of that. We're showing some of the rooftop. There's 2 big pools there, one for kids and one for adults, and there's some rock climbing thing that you could do there too, and we'll mention that. We'll show you in the video. And there's tons and tons. There's spa that you could use. There's massage services that you could partake of. And for the restaurant, there's 17 different restaurants. 17. Imagine, just on Odyssey of this. And now I'm showing you. Then of course you might ask me, for this restaurants, do we have to pay? Well, it depends. A part of your package, part of the fee that you paid, there's already a complimentary food together with that. So they give you, you start really early, like breakfast starts from 7 a.m. or 6 a.m. up to 10 a.m. and then there's brunch. Brunch, it kind of overlap each other, like 10 to 11:30, and then lunch from 11:30 to 2:30, and then brunch again. Then it's a 2:30 to 6 o'clock, and then 6 o'clock up to 9 o'clock will be dinner. On top of that, there's some restaurants, kiosks, and restaurants where you could grab some snacks at the same time. So if you are really into you're a foodie or you really like to eat, I'm pretty guarantee you will not go hungry because there's so much food in different layers, in different levels of the place. And of course, you start with breakfast, and then we're showing you some pictures of the breakfast. And of course, there's variety. There's Asian cuisine, there's Mexican cuisine, there's of course there's continental, and these are part of your package, meaning you don't have to pay extra. On top of that, if you want to splurge a little, there's some specialty restaurants there. Like if you want to just have a Japanese food, there's a Japanese restaurant, but those are not complimentary. They would charge you a little bit more. And again, tip number 2, if you would like to book, because they get filled up really easily if you do it during the day of the cruise or when you already boarded the ship, the best way really is to book it ahead of time, because not only you will get your reservation, at the same time you will get a good package, because this package they do run out. As far as I know, especially our business people, our business audience, you are very interested is, what about internet? Will I be connected? Yes, there's a complimentary internet within the ship, but you could also purchase a package for, like, say, if you're sailing for 3 days, there's a package for like $20 per day that it's unlimited, and that's what I took. It's unlimited because you want to stay connected, not only, and of course, while you're in there, you within that parameter of the ship, you have one, and it's complimentary. But if you want to be connected outside of the liner, that's easy too. Like we could be sailing in Greece, or we could be sailing somewhere in Europe, and we are at sea, and I still am connected to the mainland in the USA. So you could still do work, because I think because of the way they constructed now, and because I know they are very much aware that people wants to be connected. So you could share your picture, you could chat out to the people that you left behind back home. So that's so easy. So those are the things, but you need to book them ahead of time too. But in case that you're like me, I thought that the complimentary would be sufficient, but I only found out when we already boarded that it's only within the parameters of the liner. So I have to buy it there. So instead of paying $17 or $15 for a day, it cost me like $20. So it's $5 more, because I didn't pre-book or prepaid yet my internet package prior to boarding. Okay, so those are tip number 2. Okay, now let's show some videos, because I know you guys are interested on. So this is so this is my own video, just like what you saw in the picture. So this is the day of our boarding. Yeah, so it's just huge, you guys. It's like a whole building floating, and there's like I think 8 or 9 layers or levels. Like in this particular case, there's 12, because there's like the suites area, and then of course you have the rooftop. Yeah, so it's kind of shaky during the day. When we boarded in Rome, it was kind of windy. So so you might ask me, oh, boarding in Rome, how did that happen? Well, which is not part of the package, is you have to book your own flight from your point of from your home port of origin to wherever the departure is going to be. And this is where, okay, we all walked in to the ship inside, and then you have to register again. Oh, this is one thing that I like. This particular video, this was the room itself. And what I got was a room with a balcony, and they have a welcome treat for you. There's a champagne there, and of course a strawberry with chocolate. And then the bed, if you are traveling the maximum people for each bed for this particular location with a balcony. It's 4 people. The bed that you just saw, that could be separated to make it 2 full-size bed. But in this case, when you walked in, it's arranged as a king bed. But if you are 4 people, then there's also the sofa bed, which I'll show in a minute. So yeah, see the full-size bed, or it fits 2 in each bed, so total of 4. Now, if you are singles, so 2 people can be using the bed, and there's another. See that blue sofa right there? That's a day bed that you could pull out. It's a day bed that you could pull out and make it to another bed. So, but it's huge. The room, it's huge, and I was very, very pleasantly surprised. And there's a room, and this room, it goes to the bathroom. And look at how beautiful this bathroom is. 2 liners that I experienced, there's too small. This one, it's huge, it's big, and you could be taking a shower at the same time. Another person can be doing their makeup, but it's huge enough that 4 people can easily go in and out without much problem. Yeah, so I love this room because it's huge and it's very cozy. At the same time, it has so much drawers and places that you could put all your clothes that you would not be wearing. And every little space there are functional. There are cabinets, drawers, and closet that you could use. Yeah, so that's how big this room is. I guess they figure it out that people would like space. They would like space like myself, and I don't want to feel like cooped up in a small space, and that's why I really enjoy this particular room. So you have that, and of course, okay. Now what you're seeing right now is one part of the dining room, and you could go around there, and of course, there's some. Well, we went there really early, and what I did was I went around first to check out the place and to see the things that to kind of be acquainted with the location. And so, and then here we register for some goodies that they're giving away. And this is the beautiful view of the sunset, and this was taken in the balcony. Yeah, so this is how beautiful. But it is so romantic. If you're traveling with your loved ones, or it's a wedding, or it's a honeymoon, this will be a perfect gift for anybody, because it's a one-stop shop, meaning you don't have to worry about your food, you don't have to worry about your drinks, you won't get hungry, and there's so many activities that can be done. So I'm just showing you the view from the balcony that I was given. Yeah, so that's how beautiful it is. It's pure, it's picture perfect, if I may say myself. Now, Odyssey of the Seas. Okay, well, this one, remember I showed you some pictures later of the rooftop. Now you're seeing the video of it. So there's so many activities. There's pool for the kids, and there's pool for the adults. And then, of course, people who'd like to jog or run, there's a track where you could around the ship on this level, which is the top floor, or the rooftop. I call it the rooftop. And there's this track where you could do your exercises, and of course there's a gym inside, and there's a disco as well, and of course there's a theater, there's a casino, especially for our mature people. The first thing they would ask is there a casino on board? Yes, there is a casino on board. And there's some specialty shops as well that you could buy your souvenirs or any of the things that you might have left behind. And well, on the topmost floor or level of this is exclusively for people who are part of the suites. So the people who could splurge more, they have their own private area where it's like an exclusive for them. Yeah, but look at how beautiful this thing is. It's amazing. There's spa, by the way, that it's open with a certain hours, but you could tell it. This is early morning that I took, and it's practically empty. Now, the funny thing is, oh, one of the thing too that the attraction for this particular liner or this particular ship, the Odyssey of the Seas, is they have a rock climbing portion of that. I don't think I took picture of that or a video, but you sign up and there's a rock climbing there that you could enjoy as well. And then as far as okay, there I will show you some more of that. There's rock climbing wall. There's a North Star observation pod. There's a sky pod virtual reality bungee experience, and then there's a bumper cars music halls, and there's a low rider simulator, and then of course the traditional people who are wants to gamble a little bit. There's the bingo, the trivia, and of course different demonstration, and of course there's some art gallery auction as well. And that see there's 16 floors, and then I'm showing you where the see on the 15th floor is where everything is located, the North Star, and then the Sunflex, and then my other third tip, if you once you checked in and you're already settled, go around the cruise and kind of look at the guide. They have the legend on different floors and what to see in each floor, and then kind of scout around and do your ocular, so at least you have a bearings on where things are, because it's everything is from one end to the other. And of course, like there's some floors that are really for the cabins, but the other floors in this practice is the 10, 11, 12, 13. There's so many activities, and of course the restaurants, they're practically everywhere, so you will not, like what I said, you will not get hungry at all. Okay, let's show some more videos. Yeah, so this is the one part of the lobby. I believe this is the 5th floor, and then it's going leading towards, of course, food area. So we'll show you that. Okay, let's play some more videos. There's more videos because I'd like that to be shared. Okay, let's see. Because okay, because that will show you the main dining room and the Windjammer Cafe, which is always open for breakfast. And then there's a cafe too. Okay, there's a hang on our video. So there's like imagine like what I said, 17 places for specialty stores as well as restaurants, 17. So imagine you have it's really your choice on which area you want to have your food. But tip number 4, I think, you don't really have to buy or go to any more specialty restaurants, because I am pretty sure just with the complimentary dining area and complimentary breakfast and lunch, it's more than enough. Because a good example, on one of the days on the evening for dinner, they give you, and this is all you could eat, steak, and it's a ribeye steak. And then of course in another night, it's all you could eat lobster, and we're not talking about little lobster, we're talking about lobster, and it's even a combination, and they have scallops, and you could order as many as you want. It's yeah, well, now here we go. So yeah, so this is one of the lobby leading into one of the specialty restaurants. Yeah, so on the way there you'll see some art gallery, and these arts that we're showing right now, these are being auctioned out during the trip. So this is how beautiful this place is, and there's photographers all over the place, and they would take pictures. Either you want them to take your picture, or you could just buy them out before the end of the cruise. Yeah, so it's really huge, and it's not as crowded as I was thinking that it would be so crowded, but it wasn't. I mean, look at and these art pieces. There's one of a kind, and you could buy them during auction, and I suggest if you're gonna buy any of this artwork, and I think it's best to buy during the auction because you could get a good deal. And you might ask me, then do I have to carry them with me? Especially if you're still traveling to different countries. No, they'll ship it to you for free. So meaning if you purchase any of this artwork, they could ship to you, depending of course where you are. If it's too far away and it's it's not on their list, they will just charge you a minimum fee for the shipping and handling. But it's so minimal that it's not as significant as this is leading to, of course, especially to our gamblers. This is leading towards the casino. I might not I was not able to take so much footage of the casino for obvious reason. They don't allow you to take footage. I try to as much as I can, but it's not the way I would like to video, simply because I know a security officer was eyeing me already while I was doing my video. So it's not a card game, or on slot machines, and lots of slot machines that you would not worry not to have a space because there's more than enough for everyone. Yeah, so there you go. Yeah, I'm passing through fast. Yeah, so I'm meeting some people doing a video as well to show their friends and family back home. Yeah, so it's a whole area where all the slot machines are. And then as you pass through that location, you'll see all the specialty stores too, where it's really tax free because you are in the middle of the ocean, and these stores are only open while you're sailing. Once you're docked in any port, those are closed. And I was told by the powers that be that it really is the reason is because of the tax purposes, and by I think agreement with whatever country they're at, they're not supposed to be opening and selling anything. So you could only buy items, souvenirs, or any specialty items that you want to buy. You could only do that while the ship is sailing. Yeah, of course. And don't worry if you have, you're asking me, and some of you already texting me. Restrooms are everywhere. Oh, this one is interesting. They have this particular Odyssey of the Seas. They have this particular bartender. The bartender, they call it the bionic arm. They could do the beverage for you, whether it's liquor or the hard drinks, or just beer, and order it in an area, and then they do it for you, and you could watch it. And we're showing you right now. It's really cool. If you see this live, it's like a person doing it for you, like a bartender, but this particular, it's bionic, and they call it the bionic arm. And like in this particular case, someone ordered Bloody Mary, and that's what they're putting together. Yeah, so you could see that it's so cool because this bionic arm are getting all those ingredients, and then once it's done, it will just be you see that somebody pick it up. It goes to a conveyor once it's mixed and it's done, and they put it in a conveyor, and then it will go it will be it will go around going to you, which is so cool. And this you have to see, and that's one of a bestseller, I would say, a spot that people would take pictures as well as videos. Okay, I think we have some more, and then we have some more restaurants there that we could show as soon as we get our video up and running. So a couple of things that you need to remember. Of course, there's the main dining cafe or room. Then there's the windjammer or windjammer. And there's the cafe 2. Cafe 2 is where you normally have some shows, because there's shows everywhere. So they give you a calendar where every day they send it to your room. Each room you have a calendar. Okay, and this is some shows that you could see, and these shows are like running simultaneous with each other. So you just have to plan it the way, because and you need to make a reservation. The way to do it is once you're booked or you're already boarded, you get into the list kind of filled out. Especially this is the book, and then it's an acrobatic act, and they're really really awesome. And it runs, I would say, 45 to an hour and a half. So and it's a first come first serve sitting. Yeah, so there's some music and acrobatic going on. And of course, during that time, we thought there was an accident, but there's just a glitch during that wherein this guy who was hanging, he was hanging for a long while, and it was not part of the act. So they have to start all over again because the electronic and it, of course, everything is through computers. It hanged. So the poor guy was hanging upside down the whole time. And of course, after a couple of, I would say, minutes, we kind of figure out something is wrong because the guy was just hanging in there upside down and nothing's going on. And then they have to redo the whole act. Yeah. So they have to stop the whole act and start all over again. So this time it worked, and that's part what you're seeing right now. It's that portion where it worked. I didn't bother to take a video because that was it was breathtaking simply because it was scary as well because we don't know really what was happening, and no, the announcement was made later after the show. Okay, and this is just one sample of it. There's a couple of things. Then there's the Coastal Kitchen, which is always open. And then, of course, there's the Sorrento, and that's the Italian area. Then the Loco Fresh. So, of course, that's the Latino or Mexican. And then there's the Cafe Promenade, where you get all your lattes. And, of course, Solarium Bistro. And then, of course, the Sprinkles Ice Cream Station. Now, like we mentioned earlier, for a fee, for a some fee, not a complimentary area, they have some specialty areas or for specialty dining, like the chef table, the Wonderland, Giovanni's Italian Kitchen and Wine Bar. There's the Chop Grill for steaks, Izumi and Teppanyaki for your Japanese food, and to everybody's favorite, well, some everybody's favorite, Starbucks. They do have Starbucks, Playmakers, and of course you could get the room service, and of course there's a pub if you want to drink a lot. I think we have some more videos. I believe there's some more videos. Yeah, and this is another. This is the book. This is more a Broadway production, and it's an hour and 30 minutes long. And again, you need to make a reservation simply because it is first come first served. So this one is a combination of a musical slash some drama and some acrobatic as well. But this is more like a Broadway type of production. I was seated not in front of it because I kind of came kind of late. So, but I was still seated on the side, so you could tell. So lots of movements going on. Want to watch any of these shows, come early because it's really first come first serve. And if you're like me, I didn't go there earlier. And of course it's a common etiquette practice not to make a reservation or not to reserve a seat when your company is not there. Remember how we're familiar, like when you're making a seat reservation, you put your handkerchief, you put your bag, or you put something on the next chair or sofa. They normally would request you not to do that. So meaning, if your party is not there, you cannot occupy a seat. If you're there, but say your partner or your companion is not there, too bad. They need to be seated somewhere else because they want to make sure that they only give seats if that person is there. They don't want to do, which is common for our culture, for the Filipino culture, that we reserve seats or we save seats for other people while the other people is still running around or going around somewhere, or they're not even at the venue. Then you put your bag or you put something on the chair to reserve it, they would normally request, and they make an announcement that don't do that or refrain from doing that. Like what I said, if your party is not there, it's okay, but you cannot reserve seats for them. Okay, as simple as that. It's just a common etiquette that's being implemented, and I think it's a good rule, and it's ideal. Okay, this one is another, and this one was done in a theater that the theater could hold. It's like a big, huge amphitheater there, and it holds a lot of people. And this is there's the show, and there's some not laser show, but light shows, and there's some there's our as long as our video won't hang. Yeah, so there's a lot of musicals going on. There's a 70, 80 reviews, and then it's just amazing. These and there's some people on air, and like not trapeze, but they're just like doing some impersonations as well. And it's just amazing music, amazing production number, and the costume really it's one for the books. And this is nightly. Of course, every night, like in our case, it's a 7-day cruise that we took. So every night there's an entertainment. So it's either you stay in your room, but you could do some activities. So that's why there's so much variation going on in the cruise ship that you don't really get bored. It's impossible to get bored. Okay. Like what mentioned earlier, most of these activities are completely free to do on Odyssey of the Seas. Okay, and then we mentioned also that you could stay connected among your friends through the complimentary Wi-Fi. Yeah, so and then so this was, if you ask me, was this an enjoyable trip? I would really highly recommend to you that if you're going on a cruise ship or on a cruise, try to get Royal Caribbean because I highly recommended it. One, it's new. Two, they really up the ante. They raised the bar. It was really a good experience that I don't mind going again. It is one of those that I look forward to. Then a lot of you had asked me as well, would you feel it? Meaning there might be seasick. Honestly, you don't even have to take Dramamine because the ship is so huge, so big that you don't really feel that you're moving unless you go to the balcony and look and look at the ocean. Then you would know that it's moving. Oh, those yellows like submarine-like or transport-like, those are the lifeboats. Okay, they're like mini buses, and they floats. So nothing to worry, because according to the captain, when we talked to the captain, they said those lifeboats, which is really like a submarine if you look at it closely, they will float and will if something bad happened during your cruise, not to worry, because they have enough of those transport that would be able to fill everybody, the 5,000 plus people, into those little lifeboats, and it's like a submarine-like type. Because I think most of us, we are still into that idea of a lifeboat that looks like the Titanic. That was way back. I think the 17th century. Things has changed now. This is more like a speed kind of boat, and it's really cool. Yeah. So some tips again. One, reserve if you can. Reserve early, so at least you could check their website. It's Royal Caribbean International.com. And then there's so many packages. The packages can be for Asia, countries of Asia, Europe, Mediterranean, Bahamas, as well as USA. And the cruise, or it could be as long as 64 days. So it depends really on your time frame. Prices as well for prices, it could be as low as $280 per person or $240 per person, depending on location, up to 1,800. That is per person. Again, it depends on where you're going. It depends on the cabin that you want. Of course, like what mentioned earlier, if you have a ocean view and a balcony, then it gets the price goes higher. But if you go just the internal or the interior, that's the most least expensive. Now you would ask me, if I will travel again, unless you are not claustrophobic, getting a interior room is okay as well, because technically you don't really stay in your room. Seriously, the 7 days that we were on the cruise, we only went there to sleep and to take showers, but most of the time we're out. Either we're doing our tour by land. Of course, when we dock to different countries, you do your tour. So you leave early morning, you come back at night. So if I would do it again, and depending, of course, on your budget, I do not mind being an interior, taking an interior cabin, simply because it would save you money. It's the same amenities, except, of course, you don't see the ocean. Those are, I recommend for people who are not claustrophobic, or you are not afraid of being like in the four walls of your room. Okay, so go on a cruise on a budget, take the interior cabin room. I don't think that would matter much to you if you have a view or not, because again, you don't really go out, as in out and have dinner at the balcony. You don't. You technically, you go there, you sleep, you wake up in the morning, you take your shower, you get out, and then you go back again at the end of the day because you're so tired you want to sleep, or you change clothes and do some activities. So if you really wants to be economic, the interior cabin, that's what my guarantee. Now also book early, book the trip early, book your internet package early. The earlier you book, the better you could save, simply because they're running specials. As far as drinks, they have packages also for, you could have unlimited drinks, like on the hard liquor or on the cocktail. But if you do not partake of that, that's okay as well, because everything is free. The juices are free, coffees are free, and other ice creams, everything, condiments, they're all free. So you really don't have to go an extra. You are on board. So at least if you want to drink and you are really a drinker, then I suggest for you to get the package, the all inclusive unlimited package of drinks, which includes your soft drinks. But if it's like apple juice, orange juice, those are all free, and lemon juice and all that. They everything is free unless you really want, again, to be drinking. But I don't see why you shouldn't. You should, because it's just an extra cost that you really don't need. Because especially on cruise ship like this, unless you want to take it and you don't really want to do the land tour, which is part of this experience, then that's your option. You could only also stay in the cruise ship while people are doing their land tour. So technically, you're on your own. You have your choice. Technically, if you want to go to the land, when they go to the port, you could do your exploration of whatever country or city that you would like to see, or you could just stay on the cruise ship, because there's so much activity going on the cruise ship itself that, again, you would not be bored at all. Would you? One question that was just texted to me: would it allow kids to be on the cruise ship? Absolutely. I've seen kids, because there's so many activities for the kids themselves. So and of course for the teenagers, it was a heaven for them, because they don't really check ID. So of course, with the guidance of your parents, technically everything is up for the taking So it's really a fun place to be. Again, you for that extra money that you paid, everything is inclusive from breakfast, lunch, brunches, dinner, midnight snacks. Everything is free. This is one of those experience that you would say, I had enough of food. I mean, remember you have friends and family that they really like and enjoy eating. I normally would recommend instead of doing a tour, take advantage of cruise ships. Okay, because take advantage of cruises because it's a one-stop shop. Not only you're able to explore different cities, different countries, but at the same time you are able to feed yourself as much, and you could eat as much as you want, you could drink as much as you want, and you could party as much as you want because at the end of the day, and people are friendly. You meet a lot of people from different well people of different nationality and different from different parts of the world. And one of the things that is so San Francisco is watching. Hello, from watching from Manila, and then of course Alexander from Francisco. Hi, Sir Josh. Hi, Alexander. Happy viewing to you. And Jenko, Ati Jen, busy with all her concert. Her I just saw a posting of her shows that I think either she's part of or she's just helping. So happy viewing to you guys. So that's my highly recommended. Oh, one thing that I know that is so interesting, and I know a lot of you had taken, who had experienced going to taking cruises. Majority of the staff and the crew of the ship, and I've taken three of them already. 80%, I would say, the staff are mostly Filipinos. So and it's so nice because they do, it's a culture. They would always go out of their way to do something special for you. It's of course, and by our nature, we're very friendly, and of course they are very proud to see Filipinos as well, guests, and of course we got to chit chat a little bit, and we kind of ask them and exchanges where they're from, and how long they've been traveling, and how much they make, and what are the challenges, what are the advantages, and what are the things that they have seen and learnings that they they experience while they're doing that. And we know that their contract is either between 6 months to 8 months, meaning without going back to their country of origin. At the same time, when they come back, they have to wait for another assignment. So it's like a hit and miss. And they said also to be even selected to be part of the cruise ship, it takes some time. So, and of course, we met a lot of Filipinos there as well, not only the passengers or the guests, but especially the crews. And during dinner, they give you more than what you could handle, and the flow of food that's coming to your table is unimaginable. Oh, you might ask me, wait a minute, I thought it's a first come first serve. Well, it's the seating is first come first serve, but for lunch, the complimentary lunch, breakfast, dinner, the breakfast and lunch, technically it's a all you could eat. Okay, but for dinner, it's served to you. So, for example, we have the steak night, or we have the lobster night. So you just order as many as you want until your heart content. So it was so exciting because, of course, who would like to have lobsters? So there's like a mini competition among the group. It's a friendly competition. How much you could consume, how much you could finish, how many lobsters. So for that particular trip, the record is 11 lobsters for one person. It's and it became really an interesting portion or part of our trip. So that was nice. And then one of the thing that people are asking me, well, they go to one country to another, are you allowed to disembark? Of course. And that's part of the whole experience because like in the particular cruise that I took, we went, we, we, we boarded in Rome, and then we traveled to Greece. From Greece, we went to we went. Of course, we went around Rome first before we boarded, and then we went to Greece. Then Greece, we went to Santorini, and then from Santorini we went to and then of course you could do your trip, the day trip. So we had a day trip in Santorini, and of course we already covered that in one of the shows, and then of course Mykonos. Now, in the other experience that I had with another cruise line, we went to Barcelona, and then we went to Italy as well. And then the other one, I went to local, which is Mexico, and Ensenada, Mexico, and that's really like a 3-day trip. So it depends really on where you want, but it is always nice to experience different liners, different cruise ships. But if you ask me, would I ever try other cruises again, or the company, I would stick with Royal Caribbean, especially now that they're building more ships in the next 2 years. Like what I said, I rode, I boarded Odyssey of the Seas. The next one that I'd like is Wonders of the Seas, and of course the iconic or Icon of the Seas, and of course that's coming up in 2024. And then the one that they're advertising right now, and without a date yet, is Utopia of the Seas. So I hope that you will be encouraged, because especially if you don't want the stress of getting your luggage, putting it to your hotel, and then changing to another city. This one, like what I said, is a one-stop shop. Everything is there. You pay a certain fee for the whole duration of the trip. Everything is inclusive. The food, the drinks, everything is there. And then of course you have that option to go disembark and do your own little land tour if you want, but that's your option. It's your choice if you want to do that. If not, you could stay in the cruise ship and still it's the same thing. Now, if you're still on a budget, you do your land tour and then you try to go back earlier to the ship, and then you could still enjoy the amenities that the cruise line is giving you, because whether you're in or not, the activities are there for the taking. The food and the restaurants, they're open as scheduled for the taking. So a lot of us, right after we try to get back before dinner, so and then we all head into towards the restaurant, and we have our dinner, and then of course we have our coffee, and then we come back again for snacks, and we do our own little thing. And then again, if you are traveling in a group, that avail of their group discounts. But not to worry, if there's just two of you, or some are single as well, then this is the time really to make friends. And then if you're in a group, you don't really have to do so many things together. You could have your own thing. If you have your significant other, your husband, your wives, boyfriend, girlfriend, you could create or plan your own thing as well. So meaning you don't really have to travel in groups. Like if you're like 10 or 17, like what happened to us, we could all be separated and doing our own thing, and then we just make a arrangement to convene at a certain place because we want to have, like, say, dinner together, or we want to be together for lunch. Or, oh, one thing too, that before I forget, there's this Vitality Spa where you could have your massage, and there's a Zumba lessons in the morning. These are these are activities that you could learn how to dance the Latin, the rumba, and the cha-cha and the tango, and these are all happening simultaneously. Which again, it would be so exciting because no dull moment, no time for you to be bored. Everything is there up for the taking. So it's really up to you on which activities and which shows you would like to see, and what kind of food you want to partake. And it's really up to you. Yo, so any other questions? I think I kind of answer all of them. So if you have other things or you want to know more privately, it's so easy. What you need to do, it's either you PM me, private message me, or email me, or text message me, and I could give you more tips, or I could give you some more resources on where to find all these discounts. But uh, if I may recommend, I recommend taking Royal Caribbean because I really really enjoyed it from the space of the from the space of the room, from the way the room was laid out, including the food and the trip itself and the activity. I I was really really happy. I was happy as a lark on this particular trip, and I highly recommend it to my friends. Again, this is not a paid sponsorship of Royal Caribbean or Royal Caribbean, but I enjoyed it. As a matter of fact, I enjoyed so much. I wrote them a letter that I would do it again when my schedule permits and my priorities is set. But definitely, if ever I'm gonna take a Caribbean. I'm hoping I would be able to do the wonders of the seas, or if not, maybe the icon of the seas. But who knows? God willing, this will all happen end of the year or maybe next year in 2024. So I think I covered mostly almost everything here. Just go to the website, check it out. There's more packages that you could research and you could check out. And depending again on where you want to go, on where you want to visit, it's not very expensive because we have this notion prior. Especially a lot of people are asking, "Oh, cruise? That's very very expensive." Nope, it could be. It depends really on what you want, depending on the room or the cabin you want, and the place and the location and the days that you have time to do, or you have time, or your depending really on your schedule, technically. So with that, I think it's not our normal long interview, long show, but I'm gonna. I think I already covered enough about, and you saw all the pictures and the videos, and I hope you enjoyed every minute of it the way. And I hope that even though you are not able to travel at this moment in time, that through our sharing, through our the videos and the picture, you kind of have an idea and a feel of how wonderful if you would be able to do at least one cruise that in your lifetime, and hopefully you would enjoy it the way I did. Well, it took me the third time to really would say that I really truly truly enjoy the trip, but you never know. Everybody has a different experience. Everybody would have a different take. Everybody would have a different option. That's why I always tell people it's different strokes for different folks. So that being said, ako, we covered enough already of information. Those people who will be watching the replay or team replay, I happy viewing for. At hopefully you learned from the experience that I had and the sharing that I had. And I'll see you tomorrow for Dear Kuya Josh. Maganda po yung topic natin, and hopefully you could join us and be able to participate. Now, at maraming salamat po again. I am in awe, a loss of words to thank you for continuously supporting our shows, especially AlamMoBa with Jush Andowitt, and also Dear Kuya Josh tomorrow. And of course, don't forget also there's other shows of PHLV Radio that are really wonderful. And this is really what this station is about. They're giving you the best of the best, and for your not only listening but viewing pleasure as well. And it has the variety of different shows, different varieties, from magazine shows to news, immigrations, and medical shows, as well as, oh, by the way, on Sundays they also, and this is really really so swell because they have we have an online mass as well. So if you are not able to go to church or to practice your religion, you could just do it online, and PHLB Radio has that too. Okay, so magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Like what I said, always remember, be kind. You can never go wrong with kindness, and any act of kindness that you do, it will come back to you in so many ways, in so many forms, in different times. And God willing po, if everything that your heart desire will be given unto you. So have a wonderful weekend for the rest of the week, for the and for us, enjoy your weekend. And if I don't see you, or you won't be able to watch us tomorrow, you have a wonderful next week. So fast, flies so fast. It's the time flies so fast. It's almost end of February next week. Ay, grabe. It's unbelievable. Anyway, with that being said, God bless us all. Magandang gabi, magandang umaga, magandang tanghali, and happy viewing to Team Replay. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Good evening. Bye everyone. I'll see you tomorrow for Dear Kuya Josh. Thank you also. Always. Bye-bye.